Hello, children. Some of you may have heard about these already. You might have seen them floating around the internet. Maybe you've even found a source to read them. But in case you haven't, we're talking about the Game of Thrones Season 8 leaks that surfaced just last night. Now, I stayed up all night reading the leaks and working on this video, making sure I didn't miss anything obvious and checking to see that my analyses were robust. I didn't have time to independently verify the source of the leaks, but they were on Reddit, so I'm pretty sure I can believe them. So in no particular order, let's just discuss the biggest points of the leaks. Reading through the episode 1 script was pretty standard for the most part, kind of what you would expect given how season 7 ended. The cold open with Hot Pie's death was great, and I'm glad they brought Melisandre back as early as they did to finally give us some payoff for her being an old woman 2 seasons back. I'm not going to spoil the explanation, you can find the leaks yourself, but I will say that the first thing that really surprised me was that they actually tied in one of those weird one-shot side characters from season 6. Kinvara, the Red Priestess that Varys and Tyrion meet in Meereen, actually shows up towards the end of this episode, which is cool because she was a really compelling and interesting character that I wanted to learn more about 3 years ago. Anyway, she takes her clothes off before getting stabbed to death by our first new character, Harry Strickland, a unique, fresh, interesting character who's introduced this late into the story for a legitimate reason that I can't tell you. So we've talked about the Melisandre, Kinvara, Cersei, Harry, Euron plotline, but we've yet to discuss the Jon, Dany, Arya, Sansa, Tyrion, Davos, Theon, Bran, Sam plot in episode 1. There's also the Jaime, Bronn, Brienne, Podskok plot, but we can talk about that in episode 3. So at Winterfell, after reuniting with Jon Snow, Arya convinces everyone to come check out a dead body she found in the crypts. Bran gets into Davos' stash and freaks out after smashing 8 grams of shrooms. He's omniscient, but he thinks everyone else is too, so he doesn't bother telling them about the Night's King, the Wall, or the blood relation between celebrity power couple Jon and Dany, so they don't flee or prepare for battle or anything like that. Jon realized that even though he literally died, he is still somehow the best adjusted Stark. Ghost actually appears and he doesn't do anything, but the script says that the fanbase loses its collective mind anyway. Tyrion drinks and tells a joke, while Theon asks Jon for help deciding which plotline he's a part of. Jon says it doesn't matter because by the end of the next episode there'll only be the one. In episode 2, my favourite scene that I read in these real leaks from Reddit was the one where Jon compares his believable relationship with Ygritte to his new believable relationship with the love of his life, Dany, who is now pregnant after their one sexual encounter. Like, it made so much sense given, the characters and, how much time they've, spent together, and how they've bonded over an amount of time, and how their actors portray their chemistry together. Emilia Clarke has recently revealed that she's gone through some health issues, which means that now, retrospectively, she's actually a really good actress. Kit Harington only has 2 weeks before the premiere to reveal that he really did die while filming season 5, which would both be really impressive and also explain a lot. So Daario Naharis is back again with a different actor. Turns out I was wrong about this being Buck Strickland, and he's pretty prominent in the Jon, Dany, Sansa, Arya, Tyrion, Davos, Theon, Bran, Sam, Jaime, Bronn plot in episode 3. He wants to offer his services to Dany again, but upon discovering that boat sex happened, he's reluctant, so he fucks off, revealing to the audience that he has been Syrio Forel all along, which I fucking called, by the way. The actors look nothing alike, which is a really good disguise. Anyway, Cersei uses this information to blackmail Gemma Whelan out of her place in the title credits. So, the real plot in episode 3. You know in Naruto, towards the end, when Kabuto and Obito revived every dead ninja to fight in their stupid war that was the worst part of the whole series by a wide margin? Yeah, that's what the Night's King does. Zombie Ned and shit. I never would have expected them to bring back Cat as a zombie, that's a crazy idea. Mance Rayder, Stannis, Robb, for some reason Robert and Joffrey's bodies were in Winterfell, but okay, so it's kinda cool that King Cold revives all these kings and is yeah, nah, I'm the captain now. It's symbolic of how he's king of all the other kings, like how Jesus was in the Bible. Lewin's there too, he's got Hodor with him, and there's a dragon as well. Luckily for our heroes in episode 4, the Night's King gets distracted trying to figure out what Podrick did in that damn brothel and forgets to invade the rest of Westeros. So Jon just steals the crypts, and now the walkers and the whites and even the dragon is just down there now and they won't bother them again. Turns out they weren't that big a deal. But then the biggest shock twist of the show's whole run happens, and I still don't entirely believe what I read in these real leaks that are real. Episodes 5 and 6 of season 8 are nothing like anything that came before in Game of Thrones. Instead of the dark, fantastical, high-stakes drama we've come to expect, the last 2 episodes of the show are pretty much a high school drama set in King's Landing. Now that there's no apocalyptic doom threatening all of mankind, all of the main characters just try and figure out where everyone should sit at the cafeteria table. They planted the seeds for this in episode 2, with Arya's cute-as reunion with Gendry, where they totally mac on each other after the camera cuts away, but I'm pretty sure they only get to second base, as Gendry has a poor history in taking things too quickly. Sam and Gilly take out alone and buy a house together. It's a fixer-upper, but it's something they can call home. Jaime stabs Cersei because she told him to because of the prophecy. Confused, Jaime confesses his strictly emotional attraction to Brienne shortly before she is killed by the Mountain, who also turns out was in love with Brienne. After Beric dies, the Hound gets the fuck over himself and sets his sword on fire to deal with his brother. Of course he fails and dies so that Arya can be the one to kill Gregor. Realizing that she also died and was brought back to life in season 6, Arya bonds with Jon and we get our final incest exhibition of the show's run. Jon is forced to choose between his aunt and his cousin/sister, and after some sage advice from bona fide Casanovas Sam, Theon, and Bran, ultimately leaves with Arya. Dany dies giving birth to Jon's child, but the child also dies out of embarrassment, leaving Gendry to assume the Iron Throne. He names Davos as his hand, but the guy is too busy watching Ren and Stimpy reruns to actually do anything, so the monarchy crumbles, and Tyrion is elected the first president of Westeros. Sansa, without any other options for a sexual partner, starts eyeing off Sam and Gilly's 6-year-old toddler because she's forgotten that she's still technically married to the richest, most handsomest, nice guy in the kingdom, who is also now president. Theon spends the rest of his screen time searching for his dick in frozen dog shit because he knows Ramsay fed it to one of them, so it has to be here fucking somewhere. Also, Sam is Lord Commander now, fuck it. Euron Greyjoy gets over himself and finally admits his incredibly intense sexual attraction to Qyburn. All in all, a really groundbreaking, heart-wrenching finale to Game of Thrones. Now that I've hit all the most important beats, I'll just rattle off some of the interesting little things that caught my attention. Like in episode 3, when Tyrion tells a joke to lighten the mood in a tense scene. I definitely didn't see the punchline of the jackass honeycomb brothel joke coming. And how in episode 1, a room full of minor characters who are kind of inconvenient for the plot completely explodes. I can't believe that Lena Headey wins an Emmy for her portrayal of Cersei this season. Congrats, Lena, you earned it. I can't believe that in every episode, a character quotes season 1, and I can't believe that in episode 5, the Mountain kills Brienne in the conservatory with the candlestick. And oh yeah, in a post-credit scene after episode 6 ends, Mira wakes up Howland Reed, who says he slept through his alarm. I can't believe that in episode 4, Sam rapes the Night King. Okay, that's enough of that. Happy April. See you in a couple of weeks. Some of the bullshit I said in this video was actually randomly generated by a dice chart, which was fun. Might give access to that if anyone's interested. Okay, thanks. Bye.